Gerald's my pet sheep, and my daughter-in-law next door has got a small flock of sheep and some Dexter cows as rare breeds and chickens and things like that. And it's lovely having them and the grandchildren next door. And so we saw this little lamb that had been born very weak, and the mother was refusing it. There were twin lambs. And so Pauline, my daughter-in-law, she's very good with animals, and she managed to rear this thing. I think she had the vet in to look at it, and the vet said, I wouldn't bother with that when it's going to die. She said, no, I'm going to try and get it. And so she did. And anyway, it grew up into this big lamb. And then because over there, on the other side of the fence there, the lambs would all have been going off to slaughter, the grandchildren didn't want this to happen, and they said, no, Grandpa, you must. And Gerald can't go, because he had a name by this time. And when he was big enough, he came to me, and I started him off straight away with a dog collar that I could tie him up. But the trouble with the sheep is that you can't actually leave them unattended, because they get twisted. They sometimes get their legs in a twist. Yeah. So I might leave them for an hour or so, but if I were going to tether them for a long time, I'd always have somebody around. But he's fine.
So do you take Gerald for walks?
Yes, I did, but the trouble is that he's very fond of eating things he shouldn't be eating. So if there's anything on the way, for instance, if he gets in the garden, he will go straight for... He was eating the fuchsias the other day.
Oh, was he?
And so...
so you have to keep an eye on him?
I really have to keep an eye on him.
And how long have you had Gerald?
Well, it's about 4 years.
And does he, because he's almost like a pet, would he would know you if you spoke to him? Does he follow you?
Yes, I had some African friends visiting me one day, and if you look out the window, can you see that house at the top there?
Yeah.
Well, he was up at that end of the field. It wasn't exactly
quite far,
there.
Yeah.
And they were quite interested that I had this sheep, and I said, just wait. I said, he knows his name, you know. So I said, you watch this. Gerald! And he looked up and he came belting down the hill immediately.
Oh, that's fantastic. So were they quite surprised?
They were, yes.